What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big O back in the building with yet another vid. Before we get into it, I just want to say thanks to everyone who's tuning in. I hope everyone is having a glorious day. If you like what you see, if you rock with me, if you love turtles, if you love my videos, go ahead and smash on that like button. Definitely hit the subscribe. Make sure you click the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And let's get right into it. Today I want to jump back into my little series on the essentials of the turtle keeping hobby. And in this installment, we're going to be having a bit of a discussion about filtration and what sort of filters are available and what sort of filters I would recommend. And before we really get into it, what you see here in front of you is my adult male Escambia map turtle. And he's doing really well. Just want to show him off a little bit before we get into the main content. So, on most of my enclosures, on 3 out of the 4 enclosures that I have, to be more precise, I'm currently using what we refer to as power filters, or what a lot of people refer to as hang-on back filters. The reason being is because, as you can see here, it hangs typically on the back of the aquarium. On this one I have it on the side because it just suits my needs a little bit better in this particular enclosure. What we have here is a Aqua Clear 110. As far as the power filter, the Aqua Clear is definitely my favorite. I have them on all 3 of these enclosures. I have one right here on my 40-gallon filled to the top. And it does, for this amount of water, this size enclosure, I feel like it's the perfect size. I mean, there's only 1 turtle in here, he has a few fish. And with regular water changes and regular maintenance on the filter, I have absolutely no problems with the water quality. We'll move to the right. This is my 55-gallon tank, which houses my narrow bridge musk turtle. He's back there hiding amongst the floating bushes there. It's kind of his favorite spot. But on this tank we also have an Aqua Clear 110, which is actually right back here, hanging on the back, as their nickname suggests. And on this tank, which there's a lot of stuff back there, let's see if I can kind of, we have 2 Aqua Clears. This is the smaller version. That's the 70, the Aqua Clear 70. And on this side, there's another Aqua Clear 110. The reason I have 2 filters on that particular enclosure is because there's 3 turtles in here. My trio of striped neck musks. And just want to make sure that the water is, pristine. Being that there's 3 turtles in here, the bio load increases considerably. So I just wanted to kind of make sure that wouldn't be a problem, and make sure that just in case 1 filter wouldn't be enough. You always want to over filter when it comes to turtles. So about power filters, they're well, really just about the Aqua Clear, because to be honest I don't really have that much experience with any other power filters, but for me they've been reliable. They have a great reputation. They are big for what you're paying. You can configure the media however you want. If I can open this right here, so you can see I have the biomedia on the top. I have a few filter pads going all the way down to the bottom, and you can kind of configure it how you want. You can use whatever media you want. You can use the stuff that is made particularly for this filter. You can use pads and things that are made for other filters. You can get the really big pads, like the sort of cut to fit kind of deals. and do it however you deem necessary. I really can't say much more except that I highly recommend them. They work great for me. They're easy to clean, they're easy to take apart, they're easy to put back together, and they last a really long time. I'm not sure which one it is. It might be this one here. I've had this particular one for at least 6-7 years, and it works. It's going strong, and it works like a charm. I've never had any problems with these things, not once ever. And this is not me blowing smoke or anything like that. So this is my personal experience, and it's the truth. I love these filters because they work, and for what you're paying, you get a pretty decent bang for your buck. Now, another very popular filter that many people use for their turtle tanks are internal filters. And on the floor here, I have two examples of that. This one here is a Tetra Whisper filter, and the way it comes out of the box is it's the body of the filter itself, and it comes with one of these pads with the blue clip on top, just one, and that's pretty much it. They come with these little bags of activated charcoal, and you kind of so you take off this little clip off the top, just like this one has here, and then you can open it. It's not easy to do with one hand, and you slide the pad off, and inside you can pour the activated charcoal, and that's pretty much it. But since turtles are such messy creatures, when I was using these, as you can see, I added a bunch of other filtration pads, and I added a pad in the back. I doubled up on the pads that come with it. In the back, I added a pad that's like a little more porous, because what it does is sucks in water through the bottom, and it pumps it up sort of the back of the filter, and then the water comes up through the front and it spills out of here. So in the back, I have the filter with the larger pores to trap the larger particulate. In the middle, I had two of these to trap whatever else is coming out. And then in the front, I had another pad that has really a lot smaller pores to catch anything that may have been missed. So the good thing about these is that they're cheap and they're readily available, and you can kind of, as you see the way I've done, you can kind of customize how you want to use it. And excuse me. And I'd say one of the other really good things about it is it works in very, very shallow water. Like, you only need about 2 or 3 inches of water to have this thing functioning properly. In your aquarium, that is, or in whatever enclosure you're using this for, which makes it great, which makes it great for hatchlings and for any shallow water species that you might be keeping, maybe like certain type of mud turtles, the spotted turtles, things like that. The bad thing about these things is that they kind of suck. There's not really much you can do with the room that you have in regard to media. And it's just for the amount of mess the turtles create, it's just not going to be efficient enough unless you have like 15 of these things, and that's just not very practical at all. But in a hatchling enclosure, when you're starting them out and they have really shallow water, and you kind of are in the sort of sensitive phase of the animal, I think they're great. I think they're the perfect filter to go to. What I would do is, instead of having the water just kind of spill and splashing and making a lot of noise, I would always point the filter backward toward like whatever corner, and it would flow out and sort of hit the wall of the enclosure, and it would be a lot more silent, and it would disturb the water a lot less. You know, just in case you know, the turtle sort of gets freaked out about the current of the water and the splashing and all these things. Moving along, we got another kind of internal filter here. This is the Fluval U4, and the way this one works is it has, it's gonna be tough to do this with one hand, but there it goes. I don't use this one anymore, it's really old, but I just keep it around just in case. It has these cartridges that go on the inside, and the two bigger cartridges on either side hold the filter pad. The one in the middle holds the biomedia. And it was okay, but I only used it like in tandem with one of my aqua clears, because at the time I had 3 turtles in a 55-gallon tank, 3 small turtles. There was 2 musks and my Scambia map when they were a lot smaller. And it works great for providing like some type of a current, because the water will come out of like these 2 tubes, or these 2 little I don't know, I don't really know what to call them, but, and also it would kind of come out of here too, because you can adjust the way the water flows out of it. That's one really good thing. And you can kind of like put it sort of on the wall of the aquarium, because it has these suction cups in the back, or you can put it on the bottom, or you know, whatever way you want to put it. And it was good to, you know, kind of stir the water up, create to break the surface up, so you don't get any of that that sort of protein filmy buildup on the surface when the surface isn't agitated enough. But other than that, these aren't really that great. Internal filters in general don't seem to really be that great, especially for turtles. If you had a fish tank with just a few fish, this would probably work really well. But the only way I would recommend this for turtles is if you're using it as like secondary filtration, or you know, something along those lines. I wouldn't necessarily want to use this for hatchlings, because the current that it generates can be pretty strong. But and to be honest, I don't even think I think these got discontinued, but I could be wrong. You know, that being said, whether you can find them or not, they were a bit pricey for what they, you know, deliver. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend these unless you can get them for a really good deal. So moving on to what I would consider the best type of filter for a turtle tank. And hopefully the light is okay back here, because it's all the way back here in the corner. You can see here I have my Fluval FX6, which is what we call a canister filter. These are the best, for me, this is the best filter I've ever owned in my life. I've had other canister filters that have worked really well, but this one, man, this one just, this thing is like foolproof. It's easy to put together. There's really, you know, a lot of filters, canister filters that is, they sometimes can take a lot of work to kind of prime and kind of get them going, and you know, there's different things that you have to do and different techniques, and you have to fill one tube and not the other tube and do this and that. And this one, man, this is the easiest thing ever. This, all you got to do, set everything up, fill up the canister, plug it in, you're good to go. And it's enormous. I don't know if you can tell. This is my hand. Well, this is a 5-gallon bucket, and it's actually bigger than the 5-gallon bucket, just to give you an idea. This is a Home Depot 5-gallon bucket. It's super quiet, makes absolutely no noise really. It's strong, it's huge, it has a lot of capacity for a lot of media, and you can, again, it's sort of up to you how you want to configure everything inside the canister itself. And these are also readily available, and you can buy just the parts that you need if you only need a certain part. The only downside to it, which a lot of canister filters sort of share this trait, they're a little pricey. I've seen these upwards of $330. I was fortunate enough to actually find this one at PetSmart, I believe it was, on sale for $240. Now that still may seem like a lot, but when I compare that to the prices that I've pretty much always seen this at, it was a pretty good deal, and I jumped on it right away. And I'm using this particular canister to filter my 75-gallon tank with my crazy Pacific Coast Giant Mexican musk turtle. And there's also a few fish in here. We got some tiger barbs, red-tailed cats. I had a few feeders. Oh, there's one feeder left, it seems. She's since taken them all out except that last one, the sole survivor. But yeah, it keeps the water super clean. I've actually had this filter running for, I think, over a month now, and all I do is do weekly water change of about 30 to 40%, and it's been keeping it in extreme pristine condition. There's absolutely no smells whatsoever, and I have no activated carbon in the filter. The intake is right down there. I don't know if you can see that. It gets a little dark back there because the light is covered by basking area, so there's no light really going down. But it's adjustable, and if we can take a look right down there, or maybe we can come around here. There's the output nozzle. It's like a dual output nozzle. It's very adjustable. You can point it up, down, left, right. One side can go up, one side can go down. You can create a current, and it's all up to you. It's all about what you want to do. And I'm speaking a little fast because I want to make this video as short as possible. It's already going to be pretty close to 20 minutes. But yeah, so there are other filters you can get. You got your Skippy filters, you got your Wendy filters. Those are more of a DIY kind of thing. I would say that those kind of more of another video. They can be made for smaller enclosures, but typically they're used for larger stock tanks and ponds and things like that. But if you don't want to spend the money on a canister filter, get yourself an Aqua Clear 110. You can get them on Amazon for like anywhere from 50 to 70 bucks. And they come with all the media that you need. If you want to switch things around after the fact, you can go ahead and do that as well. But I guess the point of this video is do your research, make sure you overfilter, make sure you keep your water clean. And I highly recommend Aqua Clear 110s and Fluval FX6s. So that all being said, and at the risk of making this video a little bit too long, thanks again for everyone who's tuning in. And until the next time, happy reptile keeping. Peace.